Right guys, welcome to AutoBarn episode 4. Are you excited? Well, you should be, because today we're finally doing some Integra stuff. Now the main focus on today is going to be pulling various bits of suspension off. We're going to do the rear trailing arms or the front lower control arms. We're going to be trying to find, hopefully, some knackered bushers. The reason being, I wasn't too happy with the way the car drove last year. I was getting a lot of odd handling characteristics. It just wasn't driving like what I remember, and you've got to remember I've had this car 5 years now and 3 of those have been on track. That's all it's been used for, as a track car, so it's had quite a lot of abuse in the past couple of years. And I did re-bush it a couple of years ago, put poly bushers wherever I could get them pretty much. So you know, it should be in good health down there, but we don't know until we have a look. So what we're going to do to start with, get the car in the air, get it jacked up. I'm going to leave it where it is. There's a space next to it where the E36 normally is, but I'm using that daily at the minute after the Audi broke. Maybe the Audi will come up here eventually and we can start working on that on the side, but definite focus is now on the Integra. So let's start by getting it jacked up, getting the wheels off, and then start pulling it to bits. Right, that's the car in the air. What I'm going to start by doing is disassembling the front suspension. That's been off most recently, so hopefully the bolt's going to be alright. I've not had the bolts for the lower control arms off for like 2.5, maybe 3 years now, so hopefully we get no snappages going on there. You know what these cars are like. Right, that's one side of the suspension off on the front. You can see just down here, got a little pile growing. Gonna get the other side off now, and then we'll have a look around them all and see if we can find any knackered bushings, see if we can find any wear or anything like that. And gonna get the anti-roll bar off as well. Have a look at the D-link bushings on the front, see if any of them are worn. I don't think I've ever changed them, to be fair, so it might be a chance to change them. Right guys, as you can see, I've got most of the front suspension off now that I need to get off. Just on a side note, we are planning to paint inside here. Eventually get the floors done and stuff like that. It's just a bit too cold at the minute, and you know, I've got more important things to do. So you know, it's a bit grotty looking, but I think over time you might see this place change, and maybe looking back to these episodes in 6 months or a year time, you know, I'll be thinking, wow, look what we used to work in and look how good it is now. Maybe, we'll see. We want to spruce it up a bit. I got the front suspension off that I want to get off, got the front roll bar, the hubs, lower control arms, coilovers. That's all off. Right, onto the back. Right, we should be ready for this to open up now. Bush is a bit stuck. Right, so that's off. You can see I took most of it quite complete, got the caliper still on there and stuff. Just put some old gloves around the lines, both sides, hopefully that'll be alright. Left the anti-roll bar on the back because if you've been keeping track, we actually changed the anti-roll bar on this car about 6 months ago. So that should be alright. What I'm going to do now, do the other side, and I'm going to take everything to the front so we can have a look at it all together. One is free. Right, handbrake cable off, trailing arm out. does look quite cool off like it is. I've lined it all up kind of like it should be on the car. Surprisingly, a lot of the bushes are in good condition, especially the rear trailing arm bush, which is a common one to go on these. Any Honda of this kind of year, you know, the 90s, when they were built properly, a lot of the rear trailing arm bushings, you know, you'll find that they need replacing on cars like this if you've not done them. I did mine a few years ago, and I did a hard race one in there, and I spent quite a lot of money on different hard race stuff, and that all looks, it looks a bit physically battered, you know, some of the paint's missing, and you know, a lot of the blue's gone on some of the arms, but the bushes themselves all seem great. So just a quick clean should be all right on these, and we should be all right as long as it works. That's the main thing. I'm looking for faults. I'm not looking for things to look nice. I'm just looking for things to work. Right, let's start with the fronts. So obviously we've got the two lower ball joints, which are down here on the front hubs. Now remember, this one's the one with the knackered thread. I had to borrow one off Josh just to get the car back. I'm going to be changing these. These aren't too difficult to change. We'll have to get the vise in the bench. Getting these out without a vise is a bit stuck. You need to kind of like wedge the hub into a vise, and then you can get these out. So two lower ball joints for the front hubs. Now these bushes are the ones that were rebushed previously, the lower control arm bushings, and although they're a bit dirty, there's no splits in them, nothing that would cause any concern. Yeah, they all look fine. And this back bush, this is a hard race bush as well, but this one's not poly, it's like a tough rubber, but I can't really show you whilst holding the camera, but you know, I've checked these out on both sides, and yeah, they're good as well. You'll notice I've not took the camber arms off, they're still on the car. The camber arms were replaced for not that long ago at all, and I've checked them out, and they look just about as brand new. I can show you quickly maybe. So yeah, they're pretty good. I might take them out because I do plan on painting inside here and just giving it some extra undersill. You can see some surface rust at the back starting to appear. So yeah, these arches are probably going to get coated somewhat, and yeah, we'll probably take them out for that. But yeah, they're in good condition. As you know, the car didn't get used a heck of a lot last year, unfortunately, but there we are. Now the biggest thing that I'm probably going to change all over on the car is the coilovers. I've currently got these Yellow Speed Premium Competition, and you know, these are like 2 years old now, and they've done a lot of track days, and they've held up really well. They're in real good condition still, but I am planning on changing them. But there will be more on that soon. So yeah, on the front then we've got the lower ball joints to replace, the roll bar D bushings, probably give the rest of it a clean, maybe a hammerite if I can be arsed, and yeah, that's it, that's all good. Now onto the backs. Right, I can't really fault the back suspension, to be honest. There's not a lot wrong with it. I've got these Function 7 lower control arms, which are pretty dirty, but other than that, everything's pretty good. All the bushes in these hard race arms, although the arms themselves look a bit battered and, you know, a bit ropey looking, the bushes are still very good, so, you know, I'm in no rush to change any of them. As I said, I might just give them a clean up. So yeah, they're the camber arms at the back, and at the front we've got these toe arms. Again, they look a bit tatty, but they're in fine condition, they're working fine. Of course, the back end isn't absolutely free from changes because these back brakes, I want to change the calipers and the carriers because, as you know, I had a lot of issues with the back brakes locking last year, and it's an issue that I've had for quite a while now, and I've been putting off simply replacing the calipers. But now you can get rebuild kits for the calipers, but a new caliper itself is only about 40 quid on exchange, so I think I might just let the experts do the rebuilding. We'll send these calipers in and get a new set sent out, and then in the carriers we'll probably just have to clean them out, maybe get a rebuild kit for the carrier if you can, get some new slider pins and stuff, because, you know, I've had issues with slider pins as well as the actual caliper on this. I've had pretty much every issue you could expect from the rear caliper in my time with the car, and yeah, I think it's just time for a refresh, get everything new, fresh, sliding good, and then hopefully less issues locking the rear brakes. Right, so we've got a plan. We've got a first few jobs on the Integra. Also, I did hint earlier that I do intend to coat the inside arches again on this car because there's a lot of surface rust appearing. There's a lot of, you know, mismatch of paint in there where I've undersealed patches before and stuff. So I'm not sure what colour to go though yet, because I've got some white and I've got some black, and although I say I don't really care what it looks like, I think it might look quite nice white under there. The only issue is, of course, Integra's championship white cars are not actually white, they're a British Racing cream, so bright white underseal might look a bit gash, but then again, once it's got some road kind of dirt on there, it might look alright. Right, so that's the end of this episode. Like I said, the next one we'll probably be looking at the arches, the inner arches on the Integra, a bit of rust proofing around where the patches have gone on the sills as well, just making sure that we can get all that under seal, and hopefully it'll last for a good few years to come, because I do want to be driving this car for a few years now. Once I get it right, hopefully, you know, it can just stay right for a bit and I won't have to be spannering on it all the time. I do enjoy working on it, but I don't want to do it all the time. So if we put a lot of time in now over winter where it's freezing, we put the time in now, we can hopefully enjoy it all next year and not have to piss about too much working on it. Right, so I'll see you next time.